All right. I was going to go live on my other account, but I don't have 1,000 followers. So I'm going to need y'all to go follow me over on Devi Maisha, okay? So I can go live over there. This is impromptu. So I didn't, I'm just going to talk. Why? So women, there seems to be an issue with women lying in relationships, lying about this foolishness around body count, lying about all kinds of experiences, just not telling the truth of who they are, not honoring the truth of who they are, trying to fit a mold or an idea, and usually it's to acquire a man. Like this is the prize, right? This is the be all end all. I'm laughing at the foolishness, but I'm also remembering that I'm older at this point, right? I'm older, and I've lived enough life to know that ain't it. Like that's not the way to be. It's not the way to go. This is partly why the divorce rate is so high. So here's the pattern. Women are taught that in order for life to be meaningful, they're supposed to be chosen by a man. And now they're validated. Their existence is wonderful. Yay, he chose me. They lie about anything that they've done that may have that man look at them sideways, so to avoid not being chosen so that they can be validated. They go through life. They, do the marriage, do the kids or whatever they're doing. And then they get into their late 30s, early 40s, 50s, and they go, what the fuck have I been doing? This isn't even me. Whose life have I been living? What just happened here? Because they weren't honest with themselves and who they are. There are women lying about what they like sexually. They are lying about their hobbies. They are lying about what type of wife they want to be. And some of these women don't even realize they're lying. They're just saying what they think sounds good to acquire a man. So why are the women doing this? Yes, to acquire a man, but they're doing this because men's egos are fragile. And I love men. I love men. Not all men, right? Because the men in my life, their egos aren't fragile. But there are a lot of men out here. I can't say most, but I can say some. I can say far too many. Men are out here with fragile egos. They could not handle the truth of who this woman is standing before him. A lot of men are looking for a fantasy of something. And so she's doing her best to fit the fantasy, but the fantasy cannot last forever. Fantasies are not meant to last forever. And so she's lying to protect his fragile ego and to acquire a man. Now, what's more important is how to shift this, right? How do we change this? Well, men can go work on their egos. Those who have an issue with honoring the full spectrum of a woman can take time to go work on why that hits him in the chest, whatever that information is, whether it's she's had what he considers to be too many sexual partners, and perhaps that's not the woman for him. If she's what he considers too ambitious, well, again, perhaps that's not the woman for him. He can search in his mind and just figure out what is it about that may be an issue for his ego. So that's one thing that can help women to stop lying in relationships, is to have fully developed men whose egos don't feel attacked by a woman being in her full feminine energy. I didn't say femininity, I said feminine energy. The other part is that women need to just start being honest with who they are, what they want, what they desire, what they need. Women need to start being honest about the life they are looking to build. And I think next time I go live, I'm going to talk about these conversations that I hear around women, about men leading women like women are children. Women don't need to be led. That's a whole nother conversation. So women are lying in relationships to acquire a man. They're lying in relationships to protect a man's fragile ego. Again, not all men. Some men. Far too many men. We've established that. How do we... Because I'm about solutions. Men need to go do that inner work if they desire. If not, it's cool. I believe that there is somebody out there for everybody. So if a man desires a woman who's going to lie, because he just knows she's going to lie, like men are like, yeah, the women are going to lie, and that's okay with you, then carry on. I prefer honesty. Maybe everyone else doesn't. We've established that part of the reason why the divorce rate is so high is because women are lying about who they are, and then they finally get to a point in their life where they just can't lie anymore. They just can't keep it up. Right? It's like eventually the real you is going to come out and you're going to turn around and be like, what the fuck am I doing here? So the antidote to this, men working on their fragile ego if they choose to. Women, stop lying. Stop lying. Your greatest achievement in life isn't the acquisition of a man. Now, I'm not against relationships. I think relationships can be a beautiful thing if you come to them fully honest about who you are. I'm listening to conversations. I'm on this app, this audio app, and I'm listening to conversations, and I'm assuming these people are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and it's making my head hurt. This idea that a woman's place, her role, is to be an ornament, if you will. It's a support beam, is what it sounds like to me. And I'm perplexed by that because in history, in the whole existence of men and women, until this version of Christianity came along, that is not what we were doing. That is not what we were doing. This is this warped white inferiority complex Christianity that has seeped its way into the psyches of Black people. And it's just not the truth. It's just not. Sorry, it's not. It doesn't mean that you can't live in that delusion if you choose to. I'm just telling you, it's not the truth. And the divorce rate shows it's not the truth. So if men want to stay married, and it is 60% of marriages are ending in divorce, I believe the statistics is that 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Then someone's not being honest in the beginning, and it is women who are lying to acquire this man. So ladies, let's avoid that. Let's start from the beginning and start with you vetting a man. It's not just about a man vetting you. Okay, you're not sitting on the sidelines of a school dance waiting for someone to come ask you to dance. This is not, no. You need to be clear on your wants, needs, and desires. You need to own all of you. I'm not suggesting that you need to tell this man every sexual escapade you've ever had, for instance, because that still seems to be a big deal. You can if you wanna. And if he doesn't like it, that's just not the man for you. Find the man for you who's gonna match your freak. But don't hide the parts of yourself that are that freak so he can be like, that's a respectable woman. You're not respectable. You're a liar. You're being dishonest. And sis, it's going to come out. So own all of who you are, and you vet the men. Okay, nope, that one can't handle me. Nope, that one can't handle me either. That one can't handle me. This one. This one can see all of me. My mess, my sensuality, my passion, my rawness, my ambition, my power. And he is unfazed by all of it. He is unfazed. He is the solid oak tree in the midst of all that I am. I don't have to spend my life propping him up. We spend our lives balancing and holding each other. So if we want to stop this lying that we're doing, we just need to be honest and stop being afraid of being alone. Stop being afraid of men not validating us. Stop being afraid of the respectability politics that you're chasing a man's respect. Why are you doing that? And this does not, because when we start talking about women standing in their power to this extent, there tends to be this idea that's like, well, that means the men are weaker or lesser. It does not. That's like me walking into a room full of women and saying, my light shines bright. And a woman saying, so you're trying to say my light doesn't? No, ma'am. Do you not think yours shines bright too? Can we not shine bright together? Why do we have to diminish one in order to uplift the other? That sounds foolish to me. So a woman who's standing fully in her power, who is sovereign, who owns her sensuality and sexuality, who says, I do not need a man to lead me. I need to walk beside him. A woman who says, so I'm listening to folks talk about being an entrepreneur and, the role of a woman is to kind of be in the backdrop like some 1950s. I don't know that these are just the wealthy women who are just like standing off to the side having their conversation. And if that's what you want to do, I want that for you. If that's what you want to do, I want that for you. But sis, you better be real clear. You better be real clear that that is what you want. Do not get into that. Do not get into this some lifestyle that you think you need to get into because this is what society is telling you. Religion, culture, and society are telling you. And then you hit 48 and wake up and go, what the fuck have I been doing? I actually did not want this. And now there's divorce. We can avoid all that by you saying in the beginning, well, you know what? I love the fact that you're doing X, Y, and Z, and I have some plans too. And how can we work together? How can we support each other in this so that my life is fully realized and your life is fully realized? And for the men, I think it's important for women to be honest, even if you don't like it. Because if that is what you truly desire, if what you truly desire is a kind of ornamental woman, I'm not going to be mad at you. That's your preference. But you need to be clear that she really does want that lifestyle. You need her to be honest with you so that in 20 years, you don't find yourself on the back end of paying alimony and child support, wondering, what happened? I don't understand. She said all of this she wanted. The lying benefits no one. But we've got to start being honest. Ladies, you have to start being honest. And you have to release shame. I've been listening to conversations with men talking about the reason why women lie is because they're ashamed of what they've done and they know that no man is going to pick them if he knew. Sis, that's not the man for you. That's not the man for you. That's not the man for you. Why would you want to be with someone who you have to hide parts of yourself from and that you have to carry this shame with you? Oh my God, my body hurts just thinking about that for you. For the rest of your life? Really? I cannot imagine that that's the life you see for yourself. So let's release that. I don't care what you did. You did it. Own it. Yes, I did that shit. This is where my head was at the time. You know, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have made those choices, but I did make those choices. But here's where I am now. Here's where I am now. Does that work for you? And you can always say no. And that's okay. But if we continue lying as women about who we are, if we continue to be ashamed about our past, and usually it's sexual past, usually it's sexual shame, because God forbid a woman decide that she wants to enjoy anything with her body. God forbid this puritanical Christian culture that has been handed to folks warp your brain. Let's be honest. Own it. Because if you lie because of shame, because you so need to be chosen by a man and you don't want him to lose respect for you, sis, he was never your man to begin with. He is in love with a fictional character that you have created. And eventually, one day you are gonna wake up and some too many headaches or fibroids or just fatigue is going to take over your body because the energy of shame needs somewhere to go. Your anger builds, your resentment builds. And now you're looking at this man saying, I can't do this marriage anymore. I gotta go. And that's unfair to him because he believed the fictional fantasy that you gave him. So to recap, women lie out of fear, which is why most people lie, because of shame and guilt. Women lie because they've been told that if they tell the truth about who they are, they will not be chosen by some man. They will not be respected by the man. And so they give a version that he can digest. And they don't honor all of who they are. They are protecting his fragile ego. Now on the men's side, men are going to have to figure out if they're going to be willing to accept all of who women are. Or if men would prefer the fantasy. I heard a man say today that, men know women lie. Why would you want to be in a relationship that's not honest from the start? And then wonder why it falls apart in 20, 25 years. Because it was never honest to begin with. So if we want women to stop lying, men, if you desire for women to if you actually really want to know the truth, be willing to hear it. Be willing to honor it. And the both of you need to be willing to walk away if you are not for each other and if you are not in alignment. And you need to be willing to be alone. You need to be willing to be alone. So that's it for today. I think I'm going to start going live here on Wednesdays at 4. Because I miss going live. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Next time I'm going to talk about this idea, unless something else pops up. And it just might. But eventually I'm going to talk about this whole idea of men leading women that I keep hearing about, like women are children, like women don't run whole countries. Like, I don't know. This is very interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about that. If you don't know who I am, because I didn't introduce myself in the beginning, my name is Devi Maisha. I need you to go follow me on my Devi Maisha page so I can go live over on that page. I need 1,000 people. I'm at 959, I think. So go over to Devi Maisha. I work with Black women who are ready to heal from sexual shame and reclaim their pleasure so they can have deeper intimacy in the bedroom. Because far too many of y'all are not having orgasms, and part of the reason is because you're lying in the beginning of relationships, pretending, that things are good and they're not good, and you're not telling this man. And that does him a disservice. It does a really good man. Because I'm not saying these dudes are wrong. They're not bad. But we do men a disservice when we are not honest with them. And then later on come to them with all that they weren't doing because they didn't know. So that's who I am. That is what I do. Give a follow. I will be here next Wednesday at 4 p.m. with another topic. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.